Okay, so it's been all over social media, the Odyssey. I've only got up this morning, was eating my scrambled eggs, and a friend of mine uploaded an Instagram post to say, wow, the Odyssey is spectacular, go see it. It looked like something that I would enjoy. I mean, I even got to the cinema earlier on today, hours ago, because it is fucking long. And one of the staff members turned around and said, it is brilliant, you're going to love it. Okay, so people have picked it up, even the cinema staff. Yes, I actually really enjoyed it. I was very surprised. I mean, although the poster, the artwork for the Odyssey looks incredibly ominous, like the decapitated statue of Athena, I think it is, she's touched on heavily throughout the film, which I really liked, because that's where it struck a chord for me, was the whole Greek mythology aspect. It's just brilliant. It's, you know, you've got like Athena, Poseidon, Zeus. You don't actually see Poseidon, I don't think. You see his son, who is extremely loud. But, oh Lord, it's just brilliant. The whole, the mythology that's involved. If you love all the Greek stuff, you're gonna love it. All the gods, that kind of thing. That's the thing. Any other movie that touched upon, that was focused on Greek mythology, I would have found really, really boring. But this was done really well. Like the screenplay, the scene transitions, the characters, the cast. The Odyssey was absolutely, it was spot on. In that sense. I mean, it's very long, and in some parts it is kind of tedious, but I really liked that, how that, you know, it brought to life with absolute like richness those like just epic characters that you've heard of in the past. The cast, clearly the director was a fan of The Walking Dead, because you've got two people from The Walking Dead in it, one being Samantha Morton, who was just brilliant. See, that's another thing. As well as those, like, the Greek gods and the absolute, like, the epic, like, Trojan War, and how it explores the kind of the horse, the Trojan horse. Excellent. It's very intense in some parts, but as well as that, it blends brilliantly, like the whole theme, like sort of witchcraft and sort of magical. There's a lot of magical element involved. It's great. Really is. I really enjoyed that. So it didn't really matter that some scenes were kind of drawn out, because they really were. I really appreciated the casting, the set and scenery. My God, gorgeous. You've got like huge, like glisten, like sparkling coastal towns, tiny sandy villages, where fires are erupting, things like that. It's brilliant. I was very, very surprised that I enjoyed most of this film. So, so there's your positives. Greek mythology, it's just so wonderfully sinister and addictive, isn't it? Like the gods, every time the thunder and the lightning struck, all the characters naturally looked up and knew that the gods were the gods were having a go at them, basically. It's just brilliant. It's all based on, even before like religion, it was like the beginning of time. All this day dot, where these people are just surviving. It's one up from cavemen, and the story. Wow. I mean, I say wow because Anne Hathaway comes to mind immediately. She is just brilliant. Matt Damon. Oh fuck! I always get these two mixed up. Was it Dylan or Damon? Why do those two have to have a surname beginning with D? Because I get them mixed up every time. Right, Anne Hathaway, Matt, plays her husband. She's just brilliant. Spider-Man's in it. Is it Tom Holland? There is a whole. It's such a fruitful cast. It's excellent. But yeah, when she's on screen, she is just brilliant. She really comes across, like, portrays the whole the tragic wife, as does, side note, Helen. Yeah, oh my lord, this whole film is a cocktail of talent, seriously. But yeah, and the whole like the gestures and her mannerisms. She's shaking. She's like tears are streaming when she's with Tom. Just excellent. Hands down, she's one of the strongest actors in the film. Zendaya, who plays Athena, isn't really in it a lot, but is basically just Zendaya. Charlize Theron, as I said, Samantha Morton. You've got the other guy from The Walking Dead. It's a cocktail of talent. Excellent casting, gorgeous coastal set, very just gorgeous. Beautiful, with a touch of the mysterious, the majestic. It's dark stuff and it's very ominous. But hang on a second, I've got something. Oh my god, I'm snowballing now because I didn't want to enjoy this as much as I did, because normally when I see something that's based on mythology, it's really boring and really dragged out. This was excellent. Set and scenery spot on. Gorgeous and excellent, the costumes, characters. Well, most of the characters were caricatures. A minotaur in the cave who was eating the soldiers and stuff. Amazing. The knights in shining armor. It's fucking hell. It's just epic. Oh my god. But yeah. So you got that. The characters, the costumes, the music, the soundtrack was quite effective as well. Right, let me try and give a negative, because it sounds like I just lapped this up. I think it didn't need to be as long as it was, to be honest. I mean, nearly 3 hours just to sort of, tell a story that could have easily been wound up in 2 and a bit, I think. But yeah, it's very long, and at points it's kind of just. It does drag, it's kind of talky. But again, there are other things I've seen based on mythology that have really, taken the piss. So, yeah. Those... hang on, back to the positives. The sirens, mermaids and things. You've got mermaids and whirlpools, the boat capsizes, it's torn apart by all these, by beasts. Knights, I would say knights in shining armor, but then more than that. They're just... It's, extremely... impactful. This is otherworldly, the Odyssey. It's based on Homer's Odyssey, and yeah, it's done very well. As I say, perfect scene transitions, played out by a brilliant, highly dynamic cast, and some real moments of absolute tensity and intrigue. I found more of the intrigue when these the beasts and mythical creatures were introduced, because that's one of the winning streak for me. I think one of the winning streaks was the whole introduction of various things, sirens are suddenly popping up, the minotaur in the cave. Am I saying that right? Minotaur, the things with one eye. It was brilliant. The enemies, I suppose you could call them, how they were introduced, and then how it played out. Such a mix of threat throughout, and these characters that you would normally see in Lord of the Rings or something. Excellent, yeah. I suppose one of my only main complaints, aside from it being fucking long, is the fact Anne Hathaway's character is called Penelope. Because you've got Odysseus, Athena, Poseidon, all these Penelope. It's like having Atlas, Thor, Damosels, Julie. Bit weird. Penelope. They could have called her philanthropy. No, that's philanthropy. You know what I mean. It's a bit odd, but I loved it. So yeah. Definitely worth a watch. Would I watch it again? Probably not. It's one of those where once is enough. It's like a New Year's Day or Boxing Day film. One of those where you there's a whole, you all pile into the cinema, a bit hungover, and you just it's like an epic for one of those sort of festive days. It's yeah, it's too long, and I definitely wouldn't watch it again. But I hope I've managed to convey some of the positives. I, God, I think that's it really. So yeah, the Odyssey. Like I say, the publicity was really like creepy, like very dark, but sort of rich as well in colour and stuff. I love my colours, and it did draw me to it. And so I went along thinking I wouldn't like it, and I mean the magical aspect and those absolute like dreamlike, like fever dreamlike characters that were thrown into the mix. This would have been horrific if it was just humans, but it wasn't. And thank you for that, Christopher Nolan. Love that. But Samantha Morton, that was so random, and that scene where she turns them into pigs and stuff. Excellent stuff. So give it a go, I suppose. Any more? Not really. Epic set, beautiful costumes, just excellent cast. I don't think that there aren't a lot of building blocks to this movie that are dire. It's all very all done very well, and like I say, the scene transitions, you never quite, like, you don't reach the level of boredom that you anticipate, because it's like, 1 minute something's capsizing or blowing up. Let me just side note, we learned about this back at college years ago, like Helen of Troy, Trojan women, in particular the Trojan horse. It's just gripping, isn't it? The soldiers, like how they they hide out in the horse in order to pass through the walls and like take over. It focuses on that nicely, and it's very well done. At one point, actually, when they're inside the horse, I couldn't take my eyes off the screen. So I really enjoyed that. But when it comes to Greek gods like Poseidon, I try and model myself on Poseidon, obviously. But god of the sea, or god of the sky, lightning. It's steeped, the whole lot. It might just be a story. Do you know what I mean? But all that sort of the history of it, and the characters, the set, what they stand for, what the people and pillagers believe in. It's just fucking epic, isn't it? So yeah, I liked that. Like Sparta, Troy, all the big, like the aggressive, like Trojan or Spartans in their like sort of like loincloths and helmets, and what they stand for. Fuck me, does it beat? I was down in London a few days ago. My God, we're all like darting around in like shirts and ties, like poles up our asses. And then you've got things like that, like ancient times where the men actually stood for something. Do you know what I mean? Most of us do, hopefully, stand for something nowadays. But, we are respectable these days. But back then, do you know what I mean? The whole self-sufficiency and the resources that they have to draw off. And it's just so empowering to watch, like those sorts of characters, how robust they are and burly and sort of bursting with the male sort of, aggressive, trying not to get like too porno here, but the like juicy sort of, they've got their juices flowing. Do you know what I mean? Alpha males, basically. So yeah. That spiraled, didn't it? The Odyssey. Give it a go if you're into, especially if you're into gods and goddesses and mythical creatures and the whole like Greek history, the Greek stories, Greek mythology, I should say. You're gonna love it. But shit. Did I like? I mean, no. Did I? The way I'm banging on about it. Did I love this? Did I love it? No, I didn't love it, and I wouldn't watch it again. But I absolutely appreciate the effort and the time that went into it. Absolutely, yeah. Scene transitions are perfect, but as I said, it's too long, and there are bits that are just like, it does sort of spiral back to shit that used to put me asleep on Channel 4 as a kid. Those old sort of black and white, like shite, basically. There are elements, there's sort of like this, ingredients there of like sort of tedious, sort of, the screenplays that it would just put you to sleep. But otherwise, I really, I appreciated that, the effort that went into that. Right, that's it. Gonna go, got to get to Sainsbury's. So, that's it.